balls!
Bitch! I love you!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Season 2 of Shooting the Shit with Baldy, and I am Baldy. Last season got cut off rather briefly because we had some technical difficulties, and literally I ran out of money to do the podcast because I was paying for it at that time. Now it's absolutely free on Podomatic. So we're going to get right into it with some new music from new people, some old music from people we ain't heard in a while, and just some music because I want to fucking play some music. But on this week's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about the lack of venues in Mount Vernon area. We're going to talk about overpriced tickets that are going on for some of these venues, man. I mean, I see some of the general admissions just running crazy, but these other shows like Metallica's playing St. Louis sometime this summer, and it's just ridiculous amount of ticket prices right now. The prices on the ticket is what I'm talking about. We're going to get some inspirational quotes from Uncle Dave. I think he's got a Valentine's Day video that I'm going to play the audio for you later. And we've got some new projects firing around the Southern Illinois area for some old friends. But right now we're going to start things up with an old friend of mine, Dr. Dick Ramirez.
plan to conquer Nick Jr. didn't work out, so I'm gonna stay up all night and color my deck with markers.
Shooting the shit with Baldy, where we make it our goal to piss off your neighbors.
I think it's time we moved right into the complaint department, you know, because, listen, this is just a series of things that are pissing me off, all right? Because I don't have pet peeves, I have major psychotic fucking hatreds, all right?
There's been some things pissing me off lately, and we're going to get into these right now. Metal on the Mountains. We've gone from playing at the Crossing when it was a biker bar before it became Larry's Irish Pub, the Crossing, to the Granada Theater, a almost 100-year-old building that's had so many performances in it that it's unreal, and we love playing there. I love having the show there, but I don't love the paycheck that we got to give out every year. I'm talking $1,200, you know. So I've had to change some things up on the band page, or excuse me, on the Metal in the Mountains page, and reboot the Metal in the Mountains page, so most of these corrections could have been made. That's why you hadn't seen anything. Everything was taken down because we had to revamp some things. The Crossing, whether they're booked or not, still won't let us back in, so we're not going back there. And there's yet to be discussions with the Granada Theater, mainly because I do not work anymore. I take care of my wife, who is a disabled veteran, and I take care of our 3-year-old daughter, Sophia. So I don't have a paycheck that comes in. This is the first year since I was 16 years old that I didn't get a tax return. Well, I get a tax return, but it's not worth a fuck to get because I didn't work. So that should be the way that is. But there should be some things in there that, for taking care of a veteran, not $300 a month that she gets for claiming me. But that's another story for another day. Metal in the Mountains has been changed to a donation strictly show. We've gone with donations and myself throwing out what was left over. I can't do that no more. And I'm not going to financially burden my family because I chose to put a show in a format for all ages and now I can't pay for it. So that's on me. But this show has always worked on donations, and the bands have always gotten paid something. Sometimes it ain't been great, but they've always gotten paid something. And we've had some money disappear here and there from different places or whatnot. People getting in, and maybe it wasn't money disappearing, maybe it was, the band's letting in almost 100 people last year that cost quite a few people a decent, a better paycheck. Because their blood tribe came all the way from Indiana. So those guys probably needed the money more than all the rest of us. I'm pretty sure the rest of us were from Southern Illinois. We don't have to drive that far. If I remember the card last year, a lot of us are Mount Vernon where the show happens. For those of you that don't know a lot about Metal in the Mountains. But we've added a $25 registration fee. For about the last week now, it's been, live. This is being done. This podcast is being done today, the 17th of February. So this is up to date. It's Friday, February 17th. But you guys say you support your scene. Well, tomorrow, a lot of you are going to support a St. Louis musician that his buddies were bitching about having to pay to get into venues. And I'm probably going to piss some people off with this, but I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm going to say what's on my mind right now in this specific part of the show. You guys are going to go support that. I expect you to help support Metal in the Mountains. Now, I'm not trying to be greedy. I'm not making any money off of this. For those of you that think that, you seriously need help. I don't make a dime off that show. I end up with a loan payment every year from that show now that it has moved to a bigger and better format for the kids. And all of you love playing on that stage. But a lot of you don't understand that I put out $480 last year for the insurance. Clarence Kellerman paid the sound, which was $200. Let's see, Backstage Guitar Labs donated a guitar that was raffled off, and that money was added into paying the bands. The $5 that the patrons paid to get in went to the door cover of $400 to just have that building. We didn't make a single dime off of any of the shirts that all of you said you wanted. $20 a pop. Some of you still owe me money. But yet I'm supposed to have my head held high and continue this show and continue paying for it. Now, like I said, I'm not mad at no one individual. I'm not going to name any names or throw out anything like that because I'm not that rude of a fucking person. I do have some pride, though. I do believe that all of us should support this. Back in the SIMC days, these guys would throw their money together and go and get a venue. Well, in Mount Vernon, there ain't no other venues, and you can't really call it Metal in the Mountains if it ain't in Mount Vernon. That's just my thought on it. So, you've got the Crossing that is dead water to me as far as I'm fucking concerned. Geo's is too small, but it would make a nice, intimate, crazy metal show if we decided to do it there. Spot Tavern, a little bit more room. Put you down on the floor dead in the person's face. Not a bad idea there. Bit of a country bar, bit of a hick bar. I ain't got a problem with that. The Hideout, I don't know. I ain't never been in it. So that would be one that somebody else would have to try to find out whether or not we can go in there. Because the VFW, which would be a place that we have played before, closed. Now it's a library for it's a computer lab for the library in Mount Vernon, C.E. Brin. The Eagles, I did a concert series there. Had 5 shows there. Had a couple other shows there, I think, before that. My dad actually worked there at one time as a treasurer. Now it's a fabric store. Moose Lodge is up for sale for $50,000. If there's any takers out there that want to build a venue just specifically for heavy metal around and rock around here. But, you know, that's, I guess I'm just shooting out my ass right now, and I'm probably going to be called a prick for this or whatever, but this is the part of the show where I get to fucking rant about whatever the fuck's on my mind. And right now, it's about the lack of help, I feel, that goes along with this show. You got guys that want to volunteer their services, but then they turn around and get smashed ass drunk and don't pay attention to rules, and next thing you know, you've got 75 people that weren't supposed to be out the back of the building. You know, we've had to crack down on this show, and I mean, you guys are forcing me to be a way I don't want to be. I like having fun. Hell, I was out there with you guys most of the time. I don't see myself getting too big for my britches neither. So those of you that want to fucking throw me out like that, just stay away. But, you know, all I know is I support the scene around here as much as I possibly can with the free time that I've been given. If that means that I've got to be hated on for whatever reason, for me leaving a band, for me having choices to take care of my family instead of being in a band, for me pushing to make this show better for you that are in bands, some of which have played alongside me for, you know, damn near a decade in other bands. You know, not my band, but other bands that have played alongside me all this time, and then want to be pissed and butthurt because I don't add you to the show. And then those of you that are on the show that have problems with one another, and, you know, things happen. It's stupid, man. We're all supposed to be part of the same scene. We're all supposed to have each other's backs. We're all supposed to fucking, hey, we need you guys on this gig because you guys need the exposure. Not, oh, I'm better than you, or you're better than me, or why am I not on this show? I thought I was your brother, or all this. What the fuck is that going to do with it? Look, this show was never designed for one specific band. It was designed for all of you guys that play here. The new bands that are coming, the old bands that are still around, and the bands that ain't been around that decided to come back for a fun fucking night. Not the bullshit drama that everybody wants to throw out after, during, or before the show. I could give two shits about that. My main focus today is making sure that we can still do this show. You know, that's why I put it into play, even though some of you probably haven't read it yet, and most of you probably will after this. And I'll probably lose a lot of you due to this podcast, but all right, now I just need you to understand what I'm feeling. I don't hate nobody, you know, but right now as it stands, if we don't have 5 bands booked, and we haven't gotten all 5 of those bands or more, which we're not doing the 10 anymore, we're only doing 7. So say we get 7 bands, that takes care of your sound for the night. My sound runs me $200 a night. I throw the last 25. So that's 200, that's 175 if you do the math. But to get to the point, if nobody wants to help support this with me, then I will cancel the show from now on. It will no longer happen, period. I feel that everybody thinks that I owe them this show, or I owe them a spot on this show. No, you owe your fans a good night. Nothing more, nothing less. If you want to call me an asshole, and I'm an asshole. I've been called much worse. I've been divorced. That's fine by me. But it's time for everybody to step up if they want to be serious about this show, because I am serious about this show. I've been serious about this show since its conception.
Need repairs? Want to sell some gear? Want to learn the basics of guitar? Then head to Backstage Guitar Labs, 1100 Salem Road, Mount Vernon, Illinois, 62864. Or give Mike a call at 618-315-1834 for all your guitar needs. Backstage Guitar Lab.
So we got a lot of ticket sales that are starting to fire up around here, and I was looking at some of these concerts that are getting ready to come through. You got Guns N' Roses coming through this summer. You got Metallica coming through this summer. It feels like Return of the 1980s in St. Louis this year. You know, so it's going to be fun to see a lot of these bands come back and come through here, and as long as Axl Rose doesn't sound like a fucked up person, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Thankfully, neither of these bands are playing together because it'd be like the retirement home for metal, but it's still going to be a fun show to watch, but the prices are just through the fucking roof, man. I think somewhere in there, the top price for Metallica for Busch Stadium was around $3,000 or some shit. The same for Guns N' Roses. There was a festival where Metallica's going to be playing, and it's going to be like you can pay $10,000 and you get all access. I'm thinking, if you pay $10,000 to go see a band, I don't give a fuck if they are your favorite band in the world. If you pay 10 grand just to go see them, you need fucking therapy. That's just what I think. It's fucking stupid in my point. I have a rule: if you charge more than $100, I'm not going. I have actually two rules. One, if you are charging more than $100, I won't come see you. Two, if it's in a stadium, I ain't fucking with you because I have severe anxiety issues. I stay in my house. Right now I am in front of a desk, staring at my computer in a little cubby hole. If any of you have been to my house, you know where my desk is. That's where I stay all day long. I'm either on Facebook, checking to see when you guys got shows going or any of that shit, but I cannot stand big venues. Pops is about as big as it can get. I used to enjoy that kind of thing. I've gone to Mayhem Festival and other things that are, pretty good sized shows, but I just cannot deal with that large of crowds now. So I got two major rules on that one. It's over $100, tough luck. If you're playing a stadium, I ain't coming to see you. Come visit us at baldies.weebly.com, where you can get inspired by Uncle Dave. You can find out any show going on in the area from the local bands, or you can visit us at the blog page. That's www.baldies.weebly.com.
Now there's a fucking love song, baby.
That pretty much does it for Shooting Shit the Baldy this week. We didn't have anybody really shooting shit because I haven't had time to book anybody. So if you or your band want to be on the show, call me at 618-204-7272. This weekend, we've got at the Lost Cross House, we have 7 Days, Hospital Job, and Copyrights. That show starts at 10 p.m. in Carbondale at the Lost Cross House. Also tomorrow night, we've got the benefit for Tim McFarland, which is a two-stage event with the FUBAR. We've got Divine Sorrow, Hollow Point, Wasco Lowlives, Damnation Army, Scorched Earth, Cause of Ruin, Spirit of Chaos, Reclamation, Lilith, Separer, and Broke Neck. Show starts at 6 p.m. February 18th at the FUBAR. That's in St. Louis. I believe they're taking donations at the door. I'm sure they're probably selling tickets or something along the lines also. But that's to help out Tim McFarland, who was shot in the leg by a ricochet drive-by bullet a while back. He's had a shit ton of doctor bills, and they're trying to help him out with getting the money for his spin down, I guess. But that's all we got on here. Like I said, if you want to get at me, hit me up on the blog page, hit me up on Facebook. Always, the number's available if you need to call and want to set up any time at 618-204-7272. Later.
The Shooting the Shit with Baldy's podcast is a non-monetized podcast. All music is solely owned by the artist. Any reproduction is prohibited by law. All backing tracks were pulled from YouTube accounts. These are not owned by the Baldy's page or the podcast. All information given in these interviews are solely given over the phone or in person and by permission of the artist or band. This podcast is for informational purposes only.